Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Bradley is dropping bombs.
What it is, Bradley, back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, I've got a fella that's going to bring you some value. Supposedly.
Yep.
His name's Ulyses Osuna. What's cracking?
Nothing much, dude. Just talked to you for like an hour.
Yes, that's right. Well, you seem exhausted.
No, I'm ready, dude. I'm game.
You seem exhausted after that hour discussion. What'd you learn? Did you learn anything?
I did, especially towards the end.
That's right. That's exactly right. So listen, you know what dropping bombs is all about.
Yep, dropping value.
That's right. We're going to drop some bombs. What that means is we're going to shoot the shit, talk about problems, challenges, situations that people may be having, you may be having, shit you're noticing, things that you've solved, things that maybe I solved. And who knows, through the conversation, people listening might accidentally pick up a little nugget or two so they can drop the bomb on their frickin' roadblock, blast through their problems, and progress in life. You dig?
I dig it.
And if you say anything worthwhile, I'm going to drop a bomb on it. Like that. If you don't say anything worthwhile, you won't be hearing many of those. But that's up to you. But what is up to me is when I drop them. So you can try your best if you like.
I will.
I hope you do, because the whole point of this conversation is to bring some knowledge. My goal is to get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. So we can live in a world where success is expected and common. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we're trying to wage war on average. We don't like mediocre. And we believe it's possible here at Lightspeed VT. Do you believe it's possible?
I do. That's why I'm here.
That's right. Now you're talking. So tell me a little bit about what you do.
So I do a lot of PR. I am that middleman. Like if somebody needs to get on somebody like a publication or
get up on that mic like it's a dick.
You want to make out with it?
He all scooted closer. I said like it's a dick, dude.
You
should have went
dude.
backwards.
Wow. Did not catch that.
Damn, dude, you got up on there quick.
Well, yeah, I was like, dude, I'm pumped. I'm ready. Just not for...
Listen.
There you go.
So anyway, hey, listen, we got no problem with the LGBT community, so you're all right. Is it LGBT? Yeah. Anyway, back to what you were doing. You're the PR guy. You're the middleman. You're the one that gets people attention, publicity.
Yep.
So you get people attention.
Yep.
How do you do that? How would people get attention? Because I believe that attention is critical in today's day and age. Would you agree with that?
It is.
Too many companies have awesome founders and leaders and subject matter experts and people that could serve the Lightspeed cause, and nobody knows them. So you fix that. Right.
Well, it's like we were talking about, earlier. You were saying like a lot of your competitors, they're not out there. Like,
Yeah, don't help the competitors.
I won't.
Yeah.
I'm loyal.
We want everybody to come up except them. They need to go away. You know why?
How come?
Because they're not innovating. I think you helped one of them before.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that earlier, too.
Yeah. Was that eventful for you?
It was.
Didn't get you excited, did it?
Yeah, I'm excited about every person that I help out.
So, you didn't help out a person. That was a company.
Right.
So you'll help out.
But I was helping out the people behind the company.
Right. So you'll help out people and companies, though.
Yes. No. I focus specifically on individuals.
So if someone's in the bomb squad listening right now,
yep,
and they're thinking, man, I need to get known, would they look you up?
Yes.
And what would you do for them?
It depends on their end, on their end goal. So like if their end goal is getting known, then what we would do first is like, one, what do they want to be known about? So kind of like create wins for them, or not create wins for them, but they kind of like write down their wins, what they want to be known about, and then get that on like smaller publications to leverage it to get onto the bigger ones. But if you're already somebody that has that credibility already, you don't need to do a lot of stuff that you think you would need to do. And then you kind of like manufacture that success on Forbes or on Inc. or on Entrepreneur. Or
is manufacture a good word, or
yes,
is magnify?
It's because like
manufacture means you create it.
Exactly.
Which would almost indicate fraudulent activity.
Why though? Isn't PR organized truth?
Well,
like,
again, as far as it's truth, but you said manufacture it. Like in other words, hey, I want to be known for having a fucking 9-inch dick. And then you go manufacture that evidence when in fact I don't.
Right.
It's 12. But that's beside the point. 12. At the end of the day, the point is are you just magnifying the truth and positioning the truth, or are you just straight up making shit up?
Nope. But it's because like a lot of people don't know how to like magnify their truth or put that out there. So that's my job to extract it, manufacture it in a way where it's positioned.
Yeah. So you mean position it?
Yeah. A lot of it is positioning.
I wouldn't say manufacture if I were you, because manufacture almost sounds like you're making it up. What you're doing is you're taking a nugget of truth and you're creating a perspective or a position, and you're organizing truth in a way that makes it palatable or interesting.
Yes.
And then you're getting an exposure. You're not just manufacturing shit.
Right. We're definitely not making it up.
All right. Good. Because ethics and integrity is important in business. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, especially in PR.
Especially in PR, because you could be found out quick, couldn't you?
I got blacklisted 2 years ago for doing it wrong.
What'd you do?
We were helping out clients. And so, like, I didn't take a journalism class or anything like that, right? I kind of just jumped the gun. And because of it, we were paying these contributors. We were bartering with these contributors. And pretty much, like, breaking every single rule possible in, like, PR. And because of that, like, I got threats. The FCC was coming after me. They were going to do bad press about me. Actually did get some bad press about it.
So you learned the hard way, didn't you?
Yeah.
See, you went to my school.
I'm glad, though. I'm glad I learned at like 19 instead of now.
Yeah.
Because just imagine if I was like, where the point I am now and then making a mistake, then it's a lot worse.
Oh, yeah. Indeed. So what kind of client are you looking for? Who can you help?
We can help out the person that's kind of like been behind the scenes that has a big company and is just looking to come to Spotlight.
Are you only looking for big companies?
Yes.
Is that because you're expensive?
Yes.
Interesting. So anybody in the bomb squad that almost decided to call you Ulyses, if you're not walking around with a pocket full of grippy cash, don't call.
We can help you out in another way, but we definitely love to help. Like, again, that's a whole positioning thing too, right? Like when I first started the company, it's called Influencer Press. We, right from the beginning, we associated ourselves with these big guys because we knew if we did associate ourselves with these big guys, then we kind of get that rub-off effect.
Yeah, sure. So how would someone do that small? Like teach them how to do it where they don't even need you.
Give me an example of a company.
Oh, let's talk about WFG.
WFG, they're huge.
Oh, you want a small company? You mean?
Well, yeah, that's what
All right, like, Alan Thurber's landscaping company.
Okay, cool. So his game plan is probably a lot different just because he can do landscaping around where he's at, right? So now, like, his job is to figure out who's like the main guy that a lot of people know from like his little space,
yeah,
and do landscaping for him.
Why?
What?
Why is landscaping a little space?
I have no idea. I have no idea about landscaping at all, dude.
I'm just busting your balls. Go ahead. So he wants to find an influencer or a brand in his space, and do what?
And do work for him. Either charge little to no money at first if you're just starting out, and then after you kind of get that one big name, then you can leverage it to get another one and to get another one, and just kind of like snowball effect it.
Yeah, but how do they do what you do? Like, how do they get articles and shit written about it?
First, they have to do something kind of worth getting featured for.
Like, I worked for so and so.
Exactly.
I was Liberace's landscaper.
Yeah, like name dropping works really, really well.
Yeah.
And pretty much that's why I say, like, write down your wins, because once you know what wins you have, you can, a lot of things that you've done can be positioned and placed into, like, this puzzle, into this persona of who you want to be. And then now you just need to kind of, like, okay, where do I need to get it at now?
Yeah. And you can get them in Forbes, Wired magazine, all these different publications.
Yep, that is my job.
Both digital and publications.
No, not print.
You probably could.
You're right. I just have not, I've not tried.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. So another thing I wanted to ask you is, how important do you think, if someone's walking around there with a small to mid-sized business, how important is it that they create a personal brand rather than try and brand their company?
It's huge, right? We were talking about this earlier, how like when people know Ed, they know Ed, and then they know WFG. They don't really, care about like WFG when they think of like Ed, right? With you, they know Lightspeed VT because they know you. And a lot of times, like these, the big power players and stuff like that, they don't tell you that because they have that big name, it's a lot easier for them to sell.
Yeah, well, that must have reversed itself. That must have been a newer development.
What do you mean?
Like back in the day, that wasn't the case.
Right.
There was no social media. There was no ability to everybody know everybody.
Right.
Like right now, it's easy. I think the internet has given us the ability to reverse that, and it's a lot easier to build recognition. Like for example, Nike.
Yeah.
Who's the CEO and owner and founder?
No idea.
Phil Knight. Phil Knight is the big wig at Nike.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have known that. You heard of Nike before you heard of Phil Knight.
Yes.
But if he would start right now on social media, you probably would have heard of Phil Knight if he built that influence and hired guys like you or a company like yours.
Right.
You would have heard of Phil, and then you would have found out, oh, he makes this shoe.
Yes.
But back in the day, he made the shoe, and that's how you heard about him. Just like Apple. I didn't hear of Steve Jobs until I heard of Apple. I didn't hear of Bill Gates until I heard of Microsoft.
Right.
But now it's flipping.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
For sure. Like, especially with that shoe, like a lot of people fork out a lot of money for Yeezys,
Mm-hmm.
which, because they're associated with Kanye West, not because, like, I have no idea. They might really love the shoe, but I know he has.
They wouldn't even have bought the shoe if just a shoe came out called Yeezys.
Right. Right, yeah, like they're buying it because it's it's associated with Kanye West. Like,
yeah.
even
They know about it because of him mainly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because he's that personal brand, so he's able to sell a shoe line.
Yep. I agree 1,000%. It's just interesting how it switched now, because before there wasn't a social media or a avenue in which to get yourself personally known to then introduce your company. You had to build the company and then introduce yourself. Shit's changing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I didn't live in that era, so.
How old are you?
21.
21 years old and already ripping it up. And you get to hang out with all the influencers and bigwigs, don't you?
Thank you. Yes.
Huh? Do you?
Yep. I look a lot older though because of the beard. You say I have a baby face.
You don't look
Dude,
older.
You're probably one of the few people.
You look like a 16-year-old with a beard.
Wow, that's great. That's great news, dude.
Yeah, like if you didn't have that beard, I would card you for alcohol.
You probably would.
And you just turned 21, so you act like you're 50 or something.
Is that good?
Yeah, 21, dude. You got a head start. Most 21-year-olds are still going to college thinking that's the answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about
I dropped out
college?
a long time ago. I hated it.
A
every
long
second
time
of it.
ago? Like when you were 10?
I dropped out like maybe 2-3 years ago.
That's not a long time, dude.
That's a long time for me.
Dude, I've been drunk longer than that. Okay, I have
Yeah.
underwear older than you. At the end of the day,
Keep it for that long?
yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. They're my favorite pair. But seriously, dude, you're ahead of most, I would say. Most 21-year-olds ain't rocking.
Thank you.
They're not running around with influencers. They don't have a business started. They're still wondering what to do. They're still figuring out where to get a better deal on an eighth. They're heading to see what kind of chicks they can get.
Dude, my age is such a luxury and and leverage point. I won't have that leisure forever.
Yeah,
You know
why
what
do
I
you
mean?
think that is?
One, people love it that they're a teenager or whatever, they just turned 21, so like you're doing stuff, so they'll cut you some slack. Like 2 years ago when I got blacklisted, I got a slap on the wrist. It could have been a lot worse if I was a decade in business, if I was a lot older, because I should have known better.
Yeah.
Right? So because of my age, because of my I was naive, I got a slap on the wrist for it. Like,
Yeah, now see, some people would look at that as a weakness. See?
an age?
Yeah.
Heck no.
Like, oh, dude, you're just a kid. You don't know any better. We're not hiring you because you don't know any better.
Right.
When in reality, you could turn that into a strength.
Yes. And I have the whole life.
You see any, like when you deal with people, any challenges and problems or stupidity that they're pulling that you could warn people not to pull?
I feel like for me, the credibility factor is kind of there already, so we don't deal with that as much anymore. But a big obstacle that we used to get was, why would I hire you over a competitor?
What was
So-
your answer?
So my answer was strategic media placement for us. So for example, we have a competitor. We had one. He did press for Alex Sharfin, Anik Singhal, like, a bunch of like Russell Brunson. So that was our competitor at the time. So they would be like, why would I choose you over them? So we got an article placement that says $1 million PR companies look to this 20-year-old for advice, where we specifically stated where that other company asked us to buy them out. And they also asked us for advice, and where we have all that proof and all that type of stuff. So every time they would come with us with that objection, we had the perfect response to it, where I didn't personally have to say like, oh, it's because, we have better features or, we're quicker. It's like that the prestigious publication will say it for me.
Which was
the Huffington Post at the time.
Which was why go with you instead of the other guy? And your basic
because like the
answer
other guys
was,
comes to us.
Yeah. So you're coaching the other guys was basically what your answer was. Nice. That's a strong one.
Thank you.
Who's your crew here?
This is Nathan. This guy's my podcast guy. So like just recently we've been doing like a ton of podcasts and speaking engagements and stuff like that. Because like we did it for clients, but like now it's time for me to kind of come out.
Yep.
So he's been helping out a lot with that. That's Mikey. That's Truman. I've always kind of wanted to work with these guys because they were kind of like under, kind of contract, or I don't know what it was, but they would only work with Gerard Adams, and they would do the series for like Leaders Create Leaders, which, Ed Milet's going to be on it because they just did an interview not too long ago. So like now.
Ed Milet's cool, folks.
Amen.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Did you get to spend some time with Ed?
No, we talk on the phone, but
Yeah.
I have not met him in person.
Nice. Oh, Eddie Milet, folks. And according to his podcast opening, it's Ed Milet.
Yeah.
It's the Ed Milet Show, where champions come to win.
Dude, I was saying, like, you have a great, like, voice for voiceovers.
Yeah.
You could probably go on Fiverr and
Yeah.
have it be a side
I
gig.
do. It's a side job. It's my side hustle, dude. I'm the one that said Ed Milet. Welcome to the Ed Milet Show. No, unfortunately, I don't do any side hustles on Fiverr. If there was a platform called an extra million, I might do some work.
Yeah, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it for $5. Isn't that what Fiverr is?
Yeah.
Everything's $5.
Not anymore. It used to be.
What's it now?
They can charge whatever they want now.
So it's not Fiverr anymore?
That's the business name, but it's not. You can't just get anything for $5 anymore.
Oh.
It used to be. That was like the only thing you could do, and then upsells, but not like that anymore.
I got you. So, dude, you married?
No, I wish. I'm just
do?
kidding. No, I don't.
You looking for love?
No, I'm not.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
People are listening.
Yep.
I got doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, successful, multimillionaires. Ed's listening.
Yeah.
Andy Frisella listens sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. I caught him. What would you tell people that anyone can use? Like, give them a tip about, hey, man, they're out there grinding, hustling. They want to get it to the next level.
Yeah.
What's a real quick hack to get somebody some exposure, some business that most people don't know about that you normally charge for?
Yep.
Give it free to the old squad.
Cool. Well, here's the thing. If you can control what people see about you, then in a way you can almost control what they think about you. So you don't have much control on these bigger publications because there's just, it's a massive agency, right? You don't have that final say. But, when I was talking to you earlier, I was talking about how we, created this entire persona of this guy that had no proof of nothing whatsoever. The way we were able to do that is because we created a scenario where nobody would ask any questions.
Yeah.
Right? It's like off the top, like, if I send you something, and like there's no doubt in their head that this guy is legit.
Yep.
But you can only think that if we had already, pretty much created whatever it is that we wanted created, and that's why you believe that. So that's why I say, like, write down your wins, because you want to, whatever it is that you want to be featured for or known for, you need to get exactly what you want written in an article and with your name in the headline and your picture and all that type of stuff. But those are only the pillar pieces to get you everything else that you want in life.
I might hire you to, like, handle my new book coming out.
Yeah, great.
I got a new book. Can you do it for a book?
Probably not. I can give you some strategy, though, for a buck, especially because we're on
Dude,
this
it's going to be a
podcast.
good book.
What's it called?
Living with a Large Penis.
Wow. I feel like I've gone through that, dude.
That's some funny ass shit. No, I'm just messing with you. No book yet. But so ultimately, how would what's the hack? What can they do? Like,
The hack is you're looking for 3 things when you want to get featured. And it's not on the big publications. A lot of people think they want to
start small.
Start small.
Walk
'Cause
and then run.
Yes, because you can create what you want when you start off small.
Yeah, so when people at the big places start Googling you, the little ones pop up. It gives you a little credibility.
Yes.
So you crawl, walk, run.
Yep.
So how do I start crawling? What do I do?
You're looking for 3 things when you're getting on smaller publications. 1, ease of use or ease of acceptance. Like, how easy is it to get an article up there? Because not too many people know the difference, of all these other publications. It could be even a small blog.
Yeah.
But if it ranks for your name and if it ranks for whatever it is that you're doing, they're going to believe it.
Yeah,
right,
if it
right off the
shows
bat.
up, if your name shows up.
Yes. So your ease of acceptance. Okay, speed at which they go up. So how quickly does the articles go up? You don't want to wait 2-3 months for an article to go up because then, it defeats the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
And then 3, control. You want to be able to control what's exactly said. Now, very few people are actually going to read the article. But
So write the article yourself?
Or hire somebody else to interview you. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just
VA or something like that.
And that's positioning.
That's positioning.
Interesting. Good hack. So if I did that, how many times would I have to do those before a real one would take me serious?
Well, you don't need to do that. But
No, I don't mean me. I mean
okay.
I'm the norm.
Yeah.
I'm Norm McDonald.
It would take 3.
About 3
Three
of
is
those.
that good number. Because when you pitch, right, when you do that pitch, you're like, yeah, they covered me for this or they covered me for that. And if there's 3 places, because, if you only have 1, they're going to ask for okay, well, what else have you done?
Yeah.
Right? The one thing only works when you have a big client or if you have a big feature. But if you don't, you need 3 small ones. Right? And these 3 small ones are going to be the pillar pieces for everything.
Really?
Yep.
That's just what lays the foundation.
It's that, yep, it lays that foundation because of those, you can get on Forbes, you can get on Inc., you can get on Entrepreneur, you can get on Dropping Bombs if you want to.
What do you think the best one is?
The best publication?
Yeah.
So the best publications in other people's eyes are the ones that people get rejected at the most.
Which are?
Which is the New York Times, Time, TechCrunch, right? The ones where it's
Those are the hard ones to get in.
Those are the hard ones to get in.
So if you got anybody on New York Times or Time or TechCrunch, that's even bigger.
Yeah, because one article we actually have, we know a buddy of ours. He works for Ryan Serhant now, but one article in the New York Times where he wasn't even the way he was mentioned was when you take a picture and they kind of have to give credit to the source. So they gave credit to the source of the guy that took the picture. And because of that, he got hit up by Ryan Serhant, and now he has an entire career out of one mention because of a credit in a New York Times article. The article wasn't even about him.
Damn, that shows you the power of all this.
Yeah.
How'd you get into it?
I got into it because I was doing general online marketing at first. So I got invited to write at these publications. And when I was writing at these publications, I figured out it was very unsaturated. There's not too many people, doing it. Or at least not they're doing it as an agency, but not as a person. Again, you going that personal brand route. So because it's unsaturated, I can work with some of the biggest influencers we know, because it's unsaturated.
Yeah.
For that simple fact, right? Once you're one of the first, it's kind of you're a pioneer in that space.
That's right. That's what I did.
Drop that bomb, dude.
Here, I'll drop you one on that. Only because Lightspeed's the pioneer in online training.
Perfect.
That's right. So that's some good shit. What problems did you face, or what problems are you facing?
Problems we're facing now is I'm not that good of a leader. I'm more of a doer. Mm-hmm. I love to give me a task because I used to be a diehard solopreneur. Just I would do everything myself. I was gonna be you. I was gonna be your team. Whatever it was, I just had that hustle in me. So now I'm learning as okay, I'm bringing up a team. Okay, you do this. I'm delegating. Do delegate, delete. What do I need to do myself? What do I delegate to somebody else? And what can I delete because it just doesn't matter at all? So that's where I'm struggling at now. Not struggling at. I'm just going through that learning process. Mm-hmm. Because I was...
Well, dude, you just got done learning how to wipe your ass, so give it some time.
Yeah. But that's what we're struggling with now.
I'm just saying shit to give you guys good footage. I see your
good.
cameras rolling.
Yep.
This will be the funniest episode you guys have ever aired or captured. You probably delete it all, won't you? You're going to leave here like that guy's a dick.
Maybe. I'll be like, hey, cut that part out, dude.
No, but being so young, dude, you give it a little time. Before you even got here, where I was in my think tank where I just have all white walls, remapping out this entire company, remapping out our culture, remapping out our brand, our brand,
yeah,
and our mission and our vision and what are we doing here and why are we here? Because I'm going to try to create a better culture. Most people don't understand culture to the point, especially when I was young, dude. Shit, I just started learning it, but that's only because I'm a savant. I should have learned it 20 years ago. But I'm like you, dude. I just do. I built this company by doing. I didn't know shit. Like I probably made so many mistakes. Like, well, that's how I know a lot of shit now. It's you learn the hard way.
Yeah.
That's the book I'll eventually write. The first book is called The Hard Way. It's shit I learned the hard way so you don't have to. And I'm just documenting everything I've learned and the keys to fundamental success that anyone can use to increase their business and life, overall life. But I'm learning that shit right now, dude. Leadership's hard to learn.
Yeah, it is.
Let me give you a few tips along the way so you don't have to learn it. First of all, dude, you don't need to trust anybody. Okay, don't buy all that. You got to trust people. You don't have to trust people. You can trust people, but get that shit in writing. First of all. Second of all, you're looking for people with loyalty. Okay, how do you get loyalty as a leader? It's not telling them you better fucking listen or I'm firing you. It's creating a vision and a goal that everybody aligns with, so they can get behind you, and then you have a true team.
Yeah.
See, what I did is I mean, I've tried every single way, but that's what the one I'm doing now, and I just started doing it, and it's working miracles. So don't wait as long as I did. You just like figure out, like, I don't know if this is your crew permanently or you have other people, but if I asked everybody here, what's your vision, what's your mission, where are you guys going? I don't think I'd get the same answer. And if I do, well, then, dude, you don't need to learn shit about leadership, because ultimately, I don't think leadership is about, getting people to do what you want them to do. I think leadership is inspiring people to do better than they would do without you leading them. You know what I mean? That's leadership to me. Like, I don't want to walk around here and tell anybody to do better. I don't want to bitch out anybody. I want to create a culture where everybody wants to. Like, I think a good leader inspires people to develop and improve and strive for better.
Right.
Now, how do you do that? Well, again, what I've learned, you do it by creating clarity in your vision, purpose, and mission, and then you only attract those that have the same one.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to. You just lead. Why? Because you're heading right there and you're laser focused on it, and guess what everybody else is doing? They're coming with you. And next thing you know, you have thousands of people behind you, and boom, you're a leader, where you can be a 15-year-old leader for that matter. But the old word leadership, what's leadership? A lot of people think it's out front saying, I'm the boss, I'm the CEO, that makes me the leader. Sometimes the leader's the one in the back pushing, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Cheerleading, encouraging, growing, developing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I've learned along the way.
Those are good nuggets, dude. Really good
You
nuggets.
didn't write any down.
Well, it's because it's going to be recorded, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. You going to watch this later or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's again, that's
has me in it.
yeah, that's what I learned with the old leadership, and it makes a huge difference. I started doing it here shortly, not too long ago, and man, big difference. Like, I used to walk around going, "What the fuck? Are you stupid or something? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can't fucking figure this out?"
No, I used to do that too. It was horrible.
Yeah, it's like, what are you, stupid? Like, do you not give a shit? How come nobody gives a shit around here?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that gives a shit? Am I the only one that can figure this out? Well, dude, nobody wanted to. Nobody gave a shit. Why didn't they give a shit? I wasn't clear on my mission, my purpose. What are we doing here? Why are they coming to work? What are they doing? Why are they here?
Right.
They were here for a paycheck. And when you have a team that's there for a paycheck, you don't have a team. You have employees. And the difference between employees and a team is a team would be there for free. They appreciate the paycheck.
Yep.
But they're there for free, basically. So if you can achieve that, folks, now you got a team. And anyone can do it. You don't have to be, old and sage and gray-haired silver fox with cufflinks. You don't even have to be successful, dude. You can be literally financially broke and be a kick-ass leader that inspires everybody to help and pitch in and develop and strive for more. In my opinion, that's a leader. There might be leadership experts going, that's not true.
No, I agree with you, dude. Not too long ago, like 2 days ago, I was talking about, or kind of like the leadership role, and I was telling them how like the team leader is like the servant to the team, at least like in my perspective, right? Like I need to make sure the team has everything they need.
That sounds cliche. I've heard other people say it. Ed Milet and all these people that tell their leadership is all, be a servant leader.
But I'm being 100% serious.
Servant leader. Have you ever gotten him a coffee?
Well, he just asked for coffee today.
Did you get it for him?
No.
See, why ain't you serving him?
You're right, dude. I'm sorry. I'm going to treat you better.
No, because I disagree. I mean, I think they say that because it sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, fundamentally, it's true, but I think the way they say it makes people, take from it that, you should be serving your employee and your team. I don't think so. I think you should be serving your cause, and your team wants to do the same thing.
That makes sense.
Like if we're saving puppies, okay? I'm starting a company right now that's going to save puppies' lives, like they're being slaughtered all over the world.
Yeah.
And we're going to go kick down doors and kick people's asses for slaughtering puppies. Now, if I found someone that said, man, I love puppies, that is unbelievable, I don't have to serve them. We serve the cause.
Makes sense.
See what I'm saying? I could tell them, dude, get me a coffee, do this, do that. And why? Well, if I've got the vision, I'm the leader, and you don't have the vision, you're joining the vision, you're helping the cause.
Yeah.
Well, then, dude, I need to tell you what to do. I don't necessarily need to serve you. But the way they say you need to be servant, that means, in other words, I need to make sure he knows what to do. I need to train him.
That's
what
I was getting
I need
at.
to inspire him. So in that regard, servant is accurate. But the way they say it always makes me think, dude, I think you should serve the cause, not your employees.
Right. I agree with you.
What other problems or situations or challenges are you facing as a young entrepreneur?
Trying to go big as quickly as possible.
Why is that a problem?
It's a problem because I don't know how to do it exactly yet. Like, we're getting there, or we're trying to get there. But my thing is,
I don't think anybody knows how to do it, or there'd be a dude saying, I'm an explosive growth expert.
Right.
But here's what you do. You do more of what you're doing now, and you'll get more of what you're getting now. So when you say, I don't know how to do it, I do. You want the answer?
Yes.
Do more than you're doing now. So like, what are you doing now? And how well you doing? You go, oh, I'm doing great. Okay, do more of that.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you explode. That's how you go bigger. You say, well, shit, I mean, what do you mean by big? Oh, shit, we're dealing with Brad Lee when we want to be dealing with Tony Robbins. Okay, how'd you get to Brad Lee? Okay, do that for Tony Robbins. Just do it more. Do it better.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you just do more, dude. Blowing up a business is not difficult. People make it difficult. You're making it difficult by saying, I don't know how to go bigger. Dude, if you know how to go at all, you know how to go bigger. Do you know how you run faster? You try harder. You run faster. You move faster. So it's the same thing with business. Okay? No shit. Like,
But
let's say every day you guys get up and you make 12 phone calls to influencers you want to work with.
Yeah.
And 3 of them, on average, do it. Right? Well, how do we go bigger?
do more phone calls.
Yeah. Talk to 24, dipshit.
Yeah.
Well, how do we go bigger? I wanted to go bigger than that. Okay, then talk to 48. Well, I know, but I really wanted to go bigger than that. Well, then talk to 96.
But, okay, so you bring up a great point.
And if you say I can't because there's only me and him, okay, then scale.
Yeah.
Scale, dude. You know how you scale a business?
Cash flow?
No, you duplicate yourself. You hire somebody else. You only have 24 hours in a day, dude.
Right.
But if you hire him, let's say he's your full-time employee, well, now you got 48 hours. But you say, no, he will only give me 8. Okay, well, then you need 3 of him to get a full 24-hour day, don't you? Or you create a badass winning culture with a badass team and you lead like a son of a bitch, and now that dude will give you 16.
Yeah.
So now you only need 2 to get to 32. You see what I'm saying? But most people are afraid to scale. You know why they're afraid to scale? Because they're afraid to spend money. You know why they're afraid to spend money? Because they were taught wrong. Money's worthless without spending it. Do you realize that? If I gave you $1 million, said, here, dude, hold on to that. You can't spend it. You can't use it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, big fucking deal. I got $1 million. So what? I can't do anything with it. Right. You can only get value for money when you exchange it.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yes.
Fact or not fact?
It's fact.
Okay, so if that's a fact, then what should you do with your money?
Spend it.
Spend it.
Invest
But most people say spend it. Oh, I'm going to go get a watch. Brad told me to spend it. Well, again, you can call it spend, you can call it invest. I call it spend. When I spend money, it's technically an investment, or I wouldn't be spending it.
Right.
So maybe I should change the word to get people more dialed into what I'm saying. But money, you use it to invest to make more money. So if you're maxed out for the day, because you got to sleep and whatnot, so do you.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing your 12 calls a day, you're getting 3, and let's say that literally takes you all day. You can't do anything else. Well, you have 2 choices. You can get better or scale. When you get better, you'll talk to 12 people and sell 6 because you're better.
Yeah.
Right? But eventually you'll be as good as you can be, and you'll do as much as you can do. So then do more and get better doesn't work, because you do as much as you can and you are as good as you can be, which isn't even possible because you can always get better, but so incrementally low because
Right.
you're already great. So then what do? You have to scale. That's your only other option.
Yeah.
You scale. And how do you scale? You
Duplicate yourself?
Yeah, you grow. You duplicate what you're doing. You say, look, it's me and him making 12 calls. Okay, well, get one more person, add them in the calls. How many calls you making now? That's scaling.
Yeah.
Then you develop processes so you can scale easier, because one thing you don't want to do is scale chaos. Does that make sense?
No.
It doesn't make sense?
Scale chaos? Oh, scale what's not working?
Yeah, you don't want to scale chaos. In other words, you guys are winning on accident. You're winning because you're both smart dudes that know what's going on, and all of a sudden you hire this dude and he comes in, and then you hire that dude because business is going crazy, and next thing this dude's pissing someone off and that dude's pissing someone off because it's chaotic. There are no processes.
Yeah.
You got to develop processes now when you're small. See, I'm going back and tearing down the whole thing and starting over. It's costing me a little momentum. Do you know why? Because I didn't do it when I was 21. I didn't do it when I was building my business. If I would have documented processes along the way, shit, dude, I'd be $1 billion company right now. I'd be right next to Apple and Microsoft and the rest of them.
Yeah.
But because I had to do it the hard way, it's taken me a little too long. Well, I'll still get there. I'll bet you within 3 to 5 years, Lightspeed or me, one of the two, will be synonymous with Elon Musk, Apple, Microsoft, $1 billion deals.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Damn.
It's true. It is. But
That's good, dude. Yeah.
that's some nuggets for you, my young friend. That's some
Thank
nuggets
you.
for you.
Thank you.
Unless, of course, you don't implement it, then
Right.
then it doesn't matter. I just wasted 5 minutes
No,
of your
no.
time.
No, I learned that from, I'm a big believer in mentors. Like, I will fork out money for mentors.
Good,
Because,
you owe me 10 G's, motherfucker.
like, we learned, every time, a team member asks for something or whatever, it's a resource. Because chances are it's going to get asked again, right? Our standard operating procedures, whatever we do for clients, it's a resource. So, now I've learned that.
Yeah,
When I
see,
hired my first
that's what I'm
mentor.
talking about. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. You just keep doing that shit, and then you make sure that when you find something that's working, you create a standing operated procedure. You document it. Do you have anything documented?
Yeah.
Do you really, or are you just bullshitting me?
I can show you my Google Docs. We have a lot of stuff that is a resource.
Okay,
which
so
is
how
documented.
many positions are at your company?
There's a COO.
What's the number?
There's like about
See,
11 right now. There's 11 right now.
Okay, so you better know it like
It's
it's
because we just brought on like 4 more people.
I know, but when you get real badass,
Yeah.
that's how you are. You know everything.
Right.
That badass. Why? Because you've written it, you've documented it, you've read it, you've trained it.
Yeah.
And when you train it, it becomes second nature, especially with repetition. That's why the best way to learn is to learn the information, and then eventually your goal is to teach the information. And once you start teaching the information and you know it that well, it becomes second nature.
Yeah,
People say
I don't
that
know by
people
heart.
say that people that can't do teach. That's just dumb. That's just a cliche. That's just people hating on a teacher. Doesn't mean you can do it just because you teach it, but it means if you teach it, you definitely know it. Unless you're a bad teacher, because there's those.
Right.
But what you just said sounds like you're already doing it. See, that's why you're probably 21 and already ripping.
But for the longest time, we didn't know what we were doing. We were doing a lot of busy work.
For the longest time, like 2-3 years.
I know. It's all relative.
Like you
but-
did busy work for like 4 months straight,
well,
without a break,
Well, for
no
2
vacations.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff that didn't matter. Like, we didn't focus on making money. We didn't, because when I was doing website design and stuff, I was like just doing a lot of stuff for free. We didn't know how to scale. We didn't know how to do a lot of the things, and that's why I contribute a lot of my success to mentors, because they told me, or they kind of taught me what actually matters and what doesn't, like what moves the needle.
What's your goal? What's your end goal?
My end goal is to be like the one. So kind of like the 21-year-old that's kind of aligned with like Bradley, with Grant.
But you're only
with
21
Ed.
for a year, dude.
But like I meant like the age, like how everybody's kind of like up there and they're like they're massive and stuff like that. My goal is to be one of them at a younger age.
Well, I get you. Well, again, I mean, unfortunately, usually to get that big, it's either luck, lottery, or time. Like if you win the lottery,
Right.
or you get lucky, or you're just really badass and unique. Because again, people can do it. It's just not normal. Normally, it takes time, dude. When I first started this shit, I thought 90 days, I'm going to be filthy rich. The whole world will know who I am. That was 20 years ago.
No, yeah.
And right now, I'm almost starting over. Like, not really. I mean, obviously, we still have business. We're, quote unquote, successful to a lot of people. But the one thing you want to make sure of also. See, I'm gonna start bombing because, dude, I'm dropping bombs. Dude. I'm just giving you nuggets, dude. I should charge your ass.
I know, free mentorship session right now.
But don't be fooled by success. You see, when you look at people and they're successful, and you think, oh my God, I want to be like him, dude. That girl or guy could be the biggest fucking idiot on the planet, and they're winning because their product's good, or their team's good, or their marketing's good, and they're soon to fail. And yet you're modeling yourself after this idiot because they're successful. That's being fooled by success. And a lot of people fool themselves with their own success.
Yeah.
See, I'm smart enough to know that, dude, this culture ain't working. I get people coming here going, dude, you got a strong culture. I love your culture at Lightspeed. Well, then they don't understand culture the way I do. Or I don't understand culture. Either way, it's wrong. Like, our culture's cool, but it's not a cult-like following. I don't have people stay until midnight trying to help spread the word. I don't have people sitting here just freaking so passionate about making the best training on the planet. Why? Well, because I wasn't clear with my message. I wasn't clear with my goal, or I attracted people that weren't aligned with the same thing. And that's when you get a cult-like following. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when you have a badass culture, at least in my opinion. So I'm not fooled by success. I could retire right now and probably not work ever again. But I didn't hit my goals. I didn't make a big enough impact. I don't have a Wikipedia page yet.
Not yet.
Does Elon Musk?
I'm pretty sure,
Does Bill Gates?
Yep.
Does Steve Jobs?
Yep.
Well, I'm the closest thing to Steve Jobs you'll ever see.
According to that song, huh?
Not just that song, it's fact. I think Steve Jobs' brilliance was he knew what people wanted even if they didn't. Like, if I gave you a flip phone, which is what the coolest phone was at the time, or maybe one of those, Palm Pilots or whatever they were, before the iPhone came out, you wouldn't have never explained the iPhone. If I would have said, dude, I'm going to make you any phone, if I were Apple and I said, dude, I'm going to make you any phone you want, tell me what you want, you wouldn't have fucking made the iPhone, bro. You wouldn't have made iTunes. You wouldn't have made the App Store. You wouldn't have understood apps. You wouldn't have thought of any of that. Steve Jobs thought of it. Why? Well, because he, I think, was brilliant at knowing what people need or want without them knowing it. And that's, to me, is innovation. And that's me. I'm making shit that you don't even know you want, which makes it twice as hard to sell. So thankfully, I'm the best salesperson on earth. Because it's twice as hard to sell.
Yeah.
Like, if I approach you with a product that you don't know you want, is it harder to sell or easy to sell?
Yeah, it's harder.
Yeah, but if you know you want what I got, well, then shit, it's easy. If you're looking for what I have, then it's easier.
Right.
So it's a two-edged sword, man. Two-edged sword. But don't be fooled by success, bro. You get too successful at too young, and all of a sudden you think you start knowing everything, and guess what? You don't know shit, and you're about to fail, and you don't even know it. Or you are failing compared to what you could have been doing, and you wouldn't even know it. Which is what happened to me, dude. Like, I should be a billionaire already. Guaranteed, if Steve Jobs owned my company, he'd be a billionaire already. If Bill Gates or somebody smarter, somebody more experienced, somebody, better at leadership, culture, management, all that. if they would have started Lightspeed, it'd be $1 billion company. You'd have heard of it 20 times over. See, but I'm not fooled by success. I know that I'm successful, but I also know that I'm not succeeding compared to my potential, and that's the bottom line.
That's powerful.
Let me just blow up a bomb right there.
That's
See,
powerful.
so I mean, if I were young, I'd want someone to tell me that. If I were young, I wouldn't be listening. Okay, that's another thing I'd tell you, youngins. Okay, listen up. Just like the beginning of dropping bombs.
Listen up.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen up.
Listen up. And that's where the period comes in. When I was young, I didn't listen to anybody. You could have gave me this advice, and I would have said, yeah. And then I'd have walked out, and I'd have said, dude, you see his watch? His watch is pretty cool. How come he didn't have the Ferrari outside? And then I'd have went off and fucking screwed up for another 20 years anyway.
Yeah.
If you're young, especially your age, because, I mean, young to me is 25, 30, right? That's a young entrepreneur. It's not, I was going to say it wasn't a young female, but I would be joking, and now I'll get DMs by all the females in the world. I made a joke the other day that was joking because my buddy, my wife is a bit young. She's 30. That's kind of young, but 21 female is young, right?
Right, yeah.
So I just said, to my buddy, because he's my age, and he's dating a 21-year-old, and then someone was hating on him. And I said, dude, once they get 30, you got to trade them in on a young one. But I was joking. So at the end of the day, man, don't be fooled by success, and whatever you do, man, listen up. Even if you don't use it, I'd listen. I'd listen to everybody you can get in front of, because you're like me, where you're unique, where you get to hang around thought leaders, subject matter experts, people that have succeeded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially
if they can afford your services.
Right.
So you're in the right group, man. Proximity's power. So anyway, I didn't think this was going to be a freaking coaching session and mentoring session.
I appreciate it, though.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Sure, but I mean, I would have been dropping bombs this whole entire episode.
Yeah.
After I started talking.
Dude, should have gave that control to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to wait for you to drop a few. Did you get one yet? I think you only got one.
Yeah, I got one.
I think you only got one though because you described my company.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I want to get a few bombs out of you, give you a few opportunities. So even though you don't know everything,
yeah,
or do you?
No, I don't.
See, right there's a bomb. Knowing that you don't know everything is smarter than the person that thinks they do, because I already thought I did and I didn't. And the older you know, or the older you get, the more you learn how much more you need to learn. And you're young and you already know that. So there's a bomb for you, friend.
Well, yeah, thank you. I invest in mentors, right? So I know.
I already told you, dude. Where's my motherfucking check?
Here,
dog.
Here's a 10.
10 dimes. I do 10 dimes an hour, and they're not grocery dimes. No, but so let me think. If there were some people listening, that are having challenges, because there's a lot of people out there that are acting like influencers, and they're faking it.
Yeah.
Right. I know people that will literally get money from you to coach you, and they're broke. Now, the fake it till you make it idea, I get that. Mm-hmm. But what would you say to somebody who is trying to be an influencer but is faking it? Is there any danger in that?
Yes. When they find out.
Yeah.
Then you're
when
screwed.
they find out.
When they
you
find
think
out.
they ever will?
So that's the hard part, right? Because so I was on another podcast and they asked me this. They're like, what would you do if somebody hired somebody like you to get them to that point of perception? And that I was like, I have no idea, right? Like you would have to have that experience that you have, to actually weed them out or to know if they have a business or not, right? Because right now in this day and age, at least if you know what to do, it's a lot easier to kind of create that perception of who you are and, fake it till you make it and all that type of stuff. But if I were to give advice, it would be have a real business. Be
authentic. If you don't have a Ferrari, should you sit there and act like you do?
I took pictures with Ferraris.
But are you posing like it's yours and you drive it every day? I'm not talking about the dude that sits next to a Lambo or a Ferrari and says, "Look at me, this is one of my favorite cars," you take a picture in front of a Ferrari.
Right.
I think it's the dude that takes the picture in front of the Ferrari and then writes a caption that says, It's my Ferrari.
Yeah, just bought
Follow me.
Just bought this Lamborghini.
Yeah, I just bought 2 of these, but I gave them away, so you won't see them. You won't see them with me anymore. But is there any danger to that? So
Yeah,
if there's anyone in the bomb squad out there being a fake, a fraud, a front, is there any power in that, or is there any danger in that?
There's so much power in that. So much power in that. But again, if you find out, it's almost over for you.
So it's a risk.
It's a huge risk.
What would you recommend they do as an alternative?
As an alternative, create a real business, something that creates cash flow.
I know, but with all these people out in the world, experts, they're telling you, man, show the Ferraris, show the Rolls Royces. You got to fake it till you make it. Make people think you're cool even though you're not. Mm-hmm. So by the time people find out you weren't, you are.
Mm. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know anybody that's done that? You want to put anybody on blast?
No.
Come on, man. You must have, dude, because someone's got to hired you and said, well, I really ain't shit, but I want you to make me look like I am.
Right. But at the time, we didn't know that.
You don't want to put them on blast?
I mean, we talked about it earlier. I won't say their name.
All right, well, then that's no fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to say their name.
But for the bomb squad listening, if they're out there doing it and they're thinking that's the way to go, because you know what? A lot of times people are just following other people's advice, and there's other people's advice saying, dude, fucking fake it.
Right.
Who cares? Well, what's the downside of faking it?
The downside is like when you show up to, podcasts like Dropping Bombs and they figure out that you're faking it.
Like, what if you'd have came over and when I said, okay, you can come on it, I'd have said, but come to my assistant's house because my office is getting painted, and you'd have came over to my assistant's house,
which was an apartment.
Yeah, which was an apartment. And my socks were off, and it was clear that I lived there. What would your thoughts have been?
They're like, whoa, dude, is this the right podcast? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny. Instead, you showed up where? To the frickin' Taj Mahal?
Yeah, and I came here. I was like, damn, this is a big office. Like, this is a killer office. And then when you showed us around, I was like, damn, this is even more legit than I thought. Like,
well, I haven't even shown you. You've only been on the West Wing. This whole floor is mine, and I just knocked out downstairs to put in a phone room and a marketing team. So we'll come back in about 6 months, and the bottom half of the building will be mine. And if you come back in, I'd say 3 years, the whole building will be mine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so killer. But that's because I have a real business, dude. Like I'm not an influencer claiming I have a business. I have a business that technically is making me an influencer.
Yes.
So I built a business. Andy Frisella, you heard the MFCEO project? Yep. You listen to him?
No.
He's got good shit, dude. He's got a way of saying it that sometimes makes him sound like he's pissed, but he's not pissed. He's passionate. He wants to stop people making mistakes too, but Andy, he's a cool dude, and he's got some badass shit, dude. Badass shit. But, and he doesn't even show half of it. But, like, he shows the Lambo and the Rolls. But, dude, he's got...
Doesn't he have, like, some custom cars? Or not custom cars, but...
He's got a car collection that'd frickin' choke a horse, dude.
Yeah.
He's got, like, 3 or 4 GTs, custom one of a kind. I mean, he's got some badass shit. He's for real. But... And he knows how to build a culture, dude. Like, you want to talk about culture, go get on his podcast. See if you can get on his podcast, by the way.
All right. I'm down.
Yeah, let's see you do it. Let's see you do it. Let's see you do it. If you get on Andy Frisella's podcast, I'll technically be impressed. One day I called Andy because I was talking to Lennox Lewis. You heard of Lennox Lewis? Boxer, dude. World champ. You guys are too fucking young, dude.
I know.
But anyway, Lennox Lewis, total. I mean, everybody knows Lennox Lewis. You heard of Floyd Mayweather?
Yep.
Right, so everybody would take Floyd no matter who you are because it's Floyd.
Yeah.
But Lennox Lewis, back in the day, was a champion like that. Everybody knew who Lennox Lewis was. Most people still do, unless you're, just learning to wipe. So Lennox Lewis, I was talking to about creating a virtual training system for boxing and for kids and things he was doing, and I had him on the phone and got to talking with him, and now, I can call him and, hey, I can get a hold of Lennox Lewis. We're kind of, I don't want to say buddies, but, I can get a hold of him.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, shit, Lennox Lewis, that's cool, dude. Heavyweight champ of the world. So I was talking to Andy one day, and I said, dude, you want me to get Lennox Lewis for your podcast? And he said, no. I said, why? He said, not interested. Like, not, he doesn't pick anybody for his podcast. So if you can get on his podcast, if it's you that did it, dude, good job. Try to get on his podcast. But dude, before getting on it, you'll get more value listening than being on it. And being on it will get you a lot of exposure. but listening to it
Right.
will provide far more value. If you can get past the way he says it. I personally like that type of style. I know a lot of people that like his style. What's funny is he don't give a shit whether you like his style, which is kind of why I like his style. But you guys will probably like his style. You should listen to it. MFCEO Project, dude.
We know about it for sure.
Yeah, well, you should get on it because Andy's for real. Matter of fact, him and Ed Milet just started the Arete Syndicate.
Yeah, saw that.
It's big shit. A lot of people spend a lot of money to get coached and mentored.
I think Stuman's in it.
Is he?
Yep.
Orion Hardcore Closer Stuman.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude. But anyway, so what else? Like, I can't think of any mistakes that a bomb squatter might be making in your realm of expertise other than faking it and then getting busted. So
not being positioned correctly.
Yeah, not positioning correctly. Okay, so let's say you are actually pretty impressive, dude, but you don't know how to say it, or a female. Let's say you're a girl and you're some champion something and you don't know how to position it correctly. What could they do to position themselves better if they have actually something to hang a hat on?
Right. Yeah. See, we know a lot of entrepreneurs that are great at what they do, and they're really upset that the other people that they see are not as great are getting more exposure than them. But that's simply because, like, to them,
you earned your own bomb, son.
Hell yeah.
Because that happens a lot, and you should get in Bomb Squad. When I do that, that means I need them to pay attention. There's a lot of people out there not as good as you winning because of exposure.
Yes.
Keep going.
So here's the thing I learned just recently. Like, it's not so much about the hustle. Like in this game, it's more so like you have to win. Like, that's a very, very crucial part. And you win by getting that exposure, by positioning yourself correctly.
Yeah.
Right? It cuts like that buyer's journey. Like, it cuts the time amount. Like, you don't have to climb that corporate ladder, or you don't have to do a lot of the unnecessary stuff you would think you need to do.
Yeah.
To kind of get to that position where you want to be at.
So what can they do to position themselves better? Magnify their brilliance.
Yeah, not manufacture. You want to magnify it. The first thing would be to kind of be aligned with those same people that other people look up to in that same space, right? Because positioning is not.
So association is key.
Association, yeah. You don't have.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason anybody knows me.
Because why? Because you've been on Power Players and.
No, it's because Grant and Andy and Ed and Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Tom Hopkins and John Maxwell and basically all the people that teach everybody shit. I'm the one, in some cases. In regards to what we do, I'm the one that's teaching them shit, so I get to be around them, showing them how to do the interactive technology, how to monetize the content differently, how to position it. So I'm like you for the virtual training, so I get to be around them.
Yeah.
And because I'm around them, people automatically say, well, dude, he must be somebody.
Yes.
So now I'm the real Bradley. But let me just tell you another thing. You want to be careful that you don't get attention when you're a dipshit, right? Sometimes it's better that they wonder if you're a dipshit than to confirm that you're a dipshit. You know what I'm saying?
Somewhat. I guess you have to give an example.
An example would be like if I just sat there at a party and you looked at me and you'd be like, hey, man, that dude, man, he might be a dipshit. Like, is that guy stupid?
Oh.
And I don't say a word the whole party. You leave going, man, didn't that guy look kind of stupid? But I didn't confirm it. That's better than me opening my mouth, running my mouth at the party, walking around being a dipshit, and then you're like, nope, that dude was a dipshit.
Yeah.
So you don't want to confirm, like you want to be careful that, because what if you teach someone to get attention and the attention backfires and you basically just blew up their business?
Instead of
not blew it up in a good way, like bombed their business, shit canned their business. I've seen it happen. Dude's good at getting attention. He got attention. Everyone knew he was a dipshit.
Yeah,
and he still is known as a dipshit. And his business is non-existent because everybody knows he's a dipshit. So he got the attention,
right? But
it backfired.
Yeah,
you want to be careful of that. No.
Yes.
When are you ready to get some attention? That's where I'm driving.
Right. Well, we can't. Like, that's why we kind of want to win before we start, which is why we want to work with like the high net worth individuals, because we already know like if they got to that point, we're not polishing turd, right? We're not making something into what it's not.
Yeah.
So I eliminate that problem just by the clientele that we have.
Right. Well, that's your problem, which is a good way to do it. You just selectively pick who you're going to help.
Yeah.
But what about all the people in the bomb squad? There's people out there that they're not ready, or they don't have the wins. I want someone to be able to self-assess.
Yeah.
And say, am I ready to reach out to Ulysses? Am I ready to do it myself? Am I ready to align myself with these winners so I get this attention, only to be exposed as, dude, you haven't done shit. You're not anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just kind of like one of those things that I guess, because that's a hard question, dude. I'm not sure, and that's why if you have a successful business, I know we can help. Right? That's why I'm not helping out.
You always just go back to the basics, like, dude, just build a business. Build a real business.
Because like it's harder to help out a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, well, that's why I brought up Andy. I forgot why I brought up Andy Frisella, but he always says, like, he's one of the only gurus out there, or influencers is the right word, that's actually built a real business. And every time I hear him on the podcast, I'm thinking, I built a real business. This is a real business, is it not?
It is.
You're standing in it. Is a real business. I built a real business. And Andy continues to say, I can't stand those people out there that are claiming that they're influencers when they haven't really built their own business, and you're kind of backing that up. They should build a real business.
Because then it's a lot easier to come to light.
Yeah, but look at what's his name? Jake Paul.
Yeah.
He's an influencer.
Yes.
He got famous by being a goofball on Vine, right? Mm-hmm. And now look, he built a business with that attention.
Yes.
Or maybe he hasn't. I don't know him. But does he have a business now?
Yeah, he has a business. And Logan Paul, like he has a clothing business. So he's making tons of money off of that.
Well, then that contradicts what we're telling the bomb squad. You can turn attention into a business. You don't have to have a business.
You can, for sure, you can. It's just,
how do they do that?
I don't recommend it. Like, I don't recommend you become
Why? Because it's harder? Look at Snooki. You know Snooki?
Yeah, I know Snooki.
Okay. Snooki's got a business now. Why?
Right.
Because she became famous. She got attention, then she built a business. Grant Cardone says you got to get attention.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's just not the way to start. Like, you want to be able to create something that's bringing you cash flow, which means you are, like, ethically, you can come out. I personally don't want to help out the person that's just kind of like, faking it until they make it.
Yeah, well, again, depends on who they are and what they're doing. Like, Snooki wasn't faking it. She just happened to get famous because of exposure.
Right.
What if somebody just wants exposure?
For what, though?
For anything. Like, dude, I know everybody in the world, whether they admit it or not, wants to be famous.
Yeah, and that's an ego play.
I personally don't think like Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Tai Lopez, that they're legitimately famous. I think they're known, especially in the entrepreneurial world, especially in the internet, social media world. They're known. Mm-hmm. But a celebrity to me is like Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Cruise. Why movie stars? I don't know, because they're worldwide known. Right. I mean, Will Smith, he's becoming a real influencer on social media, but I think he's such an influencer because he's already a movie star.
Yeah.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he gets off the plane in China and everybody goes crazy. Grant Cardone gets off the plane in China and not everybody goes crazy.
Yeah.
Although I've been hanging around Grant at different Starbucks and people walk up, Grant Cardone, so he's definitely known. But to me, a legitimate influencer, a legitimate one, is then a celebrity. Yeah, so it's almost like influencers, like right below a celebrity.
Yeah.
What would you say?
It's relative to like the person kind of out there, because I know I in no way think I am an influencer like you guys at all.
But for example, like there's people that think the opposite of what I just said, which is today's celebrity are the influencers. Like, screw Brad Pitt, he's no longer relevant. The new relevance, the new celebrity are the influencers. What do you think about that?
I don't agree.
Yeah.
But I know people think of us or, people around this space as like the influencer, which again, like from my perspective, you are the influencer. Grant is the influencer, like, kind of right up there with that celebrity. But you're kind of there, so you're not going to look at yourself as...
So if you had a choice to go on Dropping Bombs with me or on a TV show with Brad Pitt, who would you pick?
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Okay, well, there you go. Then you just made my point. Would you rather go get interviewed on Power Players by Grant Cardone or on Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah Winfrey, for sure.
Okay. So then who's the influencer?
Both.
Well, yeah, both. Well, anyone's an influencer. Like, if you influence your children's lives, you're an influencer. The question is how big of an influencer are you?
Yeah.
And there's two sides going on. One, the new influencer is Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, the influencers.
Yep.
And I wouldn't even include my name in there, even though people do.
Yep.
Thankfully. But I wouldn't include it because I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm trying to help people win and get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it, so not everybody has to get beat down like I did. But the celebrities have more influence than the influencers.
Yes.
But they're called celebrities and they're called influencers. Why is that, in your opinion?
Because I guess if I had to think about it, like the influencers influence a certain part of the world, which is like the entrepreneurial space. Celebrities, like you said, are kind of known, massively, worldwide, kind of, right? So there's just like a different level of credibility there, because they are that higher level than the influencer. But still, like you hold a huge position.
Can you help anybody in the Bomb Squad become a celebrity?
No.
Can you help them become an influencer?
Yes.
How do they reach you?
On IG at Ulyses, or email Ulyses at ulyssesosuna.com.
How do you spell that?
ULYSESOSUNA.
Folks, you heard it from Ulysses himself. He can help you become an influencer, but you have to become a celebrity on your own. Folks, you can become an influencer, but you got to become a celebrity on your own. And by the way, some people might not want to be a celebrity, but everybody wants the result of being a celebrity.
Yeah.
Influencer is the new celebrity. If you ask me, it's not quite there yet, but I think that the influencer is eventually going to be a celebrity, like a legit celebrity.
Yeah.
Maybe not as popular. You know why, I think? Before we wrap this up, I think it's because the stage or the platform in which you're exposed. Like if I'm on a TV show every week, you see me every week, that's more attention. My Instagram, you might follow,
right?
But you're not stuck to it every day.
Right.
But that's why I'm becoming a celebrity. A Dropping Bombs podcast celebrity. You realize this is the #1 podcast on earth? 7 billion people download it per episode. Everybody on earth hears this podcast.
Damn, dude, I'm gonna be a celebrity.
And now I'm going to introduce them to you. So the only reason everybody in the world hears this podcast is because the Bomb Squad's loyal, and as soon as every episode drops, they share it and they rate it and they post it and they freaking support me.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm bringing them the nuggets of information. I'm bringing them people like you. So listen, I know you got to go. We've been on over an hour. This is one of the longest podcasts ever in the history of the world. Congratulations, Ulysses.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, it went on so long, you nearly doubled your age while you were here.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So, hey, listen, Bomb Squad, go check out Ulysses at Ulysses, one S, ULYSES.
Yeah.
At Ulysses. That's it?
That's it.
Good one. You got a one-namer.
Yep.
That's freaking nice.
Had to pay a lot for it, though.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, go check him out on Instagram. Hit him up. Go to his website. If you guys can afford it, reach out to him. Maybe he can, get you some attention and blow up your business and help you create a personal brand. If you can't, follow what I said on Dropping Bombs episode, and you'll soon have some money, and then you can afford him. Until next time, peace out.